Hello, welcome to Jersey Line. My third reception for the year. Greg was throwing me these. Greg, the quarterback here at the studio. Welcome to Jersey Line. Pat O'Melia, your pigskin prognosticator. Had a pretty good week last week. I went 10-6. First 10-win week I had this season. I didn't know I was ever going to do that. I kept doing 9-win, 9-win, 9-win. Had the bad ones too. I had a 4-win week. But we're back on the plus side. We had a very good week. I think the bank is back up to 285 after taking a real hit the week before. A lot of good games. A lot of games that, we were so close. The Vikings, a tremendous comeback. I lost by half point. I lost with the Bills by 4 points. But 10 wins, you can't argue. Now we got this week. You got Thursday. You got a full slate of games on Saturday, and you got 3 games on Christmas Sunday, and the Monday night game. They were getting to the end of the season here. So again, as always, bet with your head. You can bet $5 on FanDuel. You don't have to go crazy. Just have some interest in the game, or skin in the game, as it's called. Let's start it off. Thursday, we got the Jaguars, who hell of a win last week, intercepting Prescott with the Cowboys, and whoop, in overtime, win, chicken dinner. They're at the Jets. Jets took a hit last week, and I think they're going to take a hit again. The kid, Lawrence with Jacksonville, he's really starting to show like he was the #1 pick in the draft. I'm going to take them Jaguars versus the Jets, -1.5, over under 38.5. Saturday, team I lost with last week, the Saints. Stay away from anything I say with the Saints, because it's whatever I do, they do the opposite. But Saturday, 1 p.m., I'm going to take the Browns versus the Saints, -3. Browns look like, well, listen, Watson's a good quarterback. He just got to knock the rust off, and hopefully he doesn't get into any more trouble, and the Browns will have a pretty good year going in next year. They got 2 great running backs. I'm going to take the Browns versus the Saints, -3, over under 31.5. Obviously, we're looking at a low-scoring game, the odds makers are saying. Saturday, 1 p.m., Lions at Panthers. Lions, there might be a team of destiny there. I thought they were going to trade their quarterback at the beginning of the season, Goff. Now, I guarantee you, they re-sign him. Their defense is starting to come along. They're still pretty leaky defense, but they can score. I'm going to take them versus the Panthers. I'm going to take the Lions, -2.5, over under 44.5. Saturday, the Bengals. The Bengals have turned the corner. They are a force. They probably are the best team in the AFC. They're going to face off with the Patriots, who had an incredible loss last week. Finally, the Raiders got back for the Tuck game. Even though the Tuck game was playoffs, Raiders get an incredible win. The failed lateral failure, whatever you want to call it. When it comes to the Raiders, all those games have names. So the Pats lost. A few minutes left. I'm going to take the Bengals. Bengals are far better than the Los Angeles Raiders. I'm going to take them Bengals, -3.5 versus New England. Saturday, 1 o'clock, Bills at Bears. It's a big spot. It's 8.5. Justin Fields, he's got to start throwing the ball, but the kid can run the ball, that's for sure. And so can Josh Allen. And Josh Allen can throw the ball. It's a big spot, but I'm going to go with it. The Bills are still playing for a first-round bye, so I think they're going to want to play. I'm going to take the Bills, -8.5, over under 40.5. It gets a little gamey this point of the season when teams are locked up playoff spots. They may not be starting their best players. They're resting. But Bills still have something to play for. Saturday, my Texans. I took them 2 weeks ago with 17 points. I took them last week with 14 points. Won both times. They've come down to earth point-wise. But they play a tough game. I don't know if Lovey's going to make it through next year to be the head coach, but the team plays, and it plays hard. I'm going to take them Texans versus the Titans, who have hit a plateau. They look like a juggernaut there for a while, but not anymore. I'm going to take the Texans. Unfortunately, I don't have 14 points. I'm going to take the Texans +4.5, over under 37.5. Got to ride with the Texans after the last 2 weeks. Saturday, 1 o'clock, Chiefs versus the Seahawks. Chiefs, again, they're same as Bills. They won a first-round bye. The Seahawks, I'm going to go with Geno Smith here. Only because KC doesn't cover the spread. Not often, anyway. This is a big spread here. It's 9.5. KC takes their foot off the gas a lot. I'm going to take the Seahawks versus the Chiefs. I'm taking the Seahawks plus 9.5, over/under 48.5. Hell, Texans almost beat them with the 70-point spot, and I think they lost by a field goal, didn't it? Yeah, I think it was a field goal. Saturday, 1 o'clock, Falcons at Ravens. Looks like Lamar Jackson is going to play. Lamar Jackson. If he's playing, they'll cover this spot versus the Falcons. The Falcons are starting their rookie quarterback. I'm going to take the Ravens, a big spot, but Ravens minus 7.5, over/under 37.5. Saturday, 4 o'clock, Washington at the 49ers. You see what the Giants did to the Commanders? Just think what Washington's going to do. With their starting quarterback, Mr. Irrelevant, the last person drafted is their starting quarterback. I don't know what they're going to do next year. This kid Purdy looks pretty good. And they still got Jimmy G and their other first-round draft choice. So I don't know what they're going to do next year. They're going to have 3 legitimate quarterbacks. But I think Jimmy G is the complete unrestricted free agent. I'm going to take the 49ers, minus 7.5, over/under 39.5. Saturday, 4 o'clock, Eagles at Cowboys. I had the Eagles last week. I lost, and it turns out Jalen Hurts had a shoulder problem, separated shoulder, so he's out. Funny how the odds makers knew about this injury before anybody else. The Cowboys, I'm going to take the Cowboys because pretty much the Eagles got everything locked up. I'm going to take the Cowboys, minus 4.5, over/under 46. 8 o'clock, Raiders at Steelers. The anniversary, the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception game, and unfortunately, the guy that made it happen, Franco Harris, passed on. So there, I'm sure there'll be memorial, and I'm sure a lot of old Steelers are going to be there, and I'm sure the Steelers are going to be feeling the aura. I'm going to take them Steelers, plus 2.5, over/under 39.5. Sunday, Green Bay Packers at the Dolphins. I think Aaron Rodgers and the Packers may have dialed it in. And the Dolphins, I think they're on a 3-game losing streak. I think this is going to be close. I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. I'm going to take the Pack plus 3.5, over/under 48.5. Sunday, 4 o'clock, Broncos at Rams. Rams got Baker Mayfield, but the Rams are so decimated. The Broncos can play defense, and they play it well. And I think it's Ripien who's starting. And it looks like Ripien's playing better than Russell Wilson. Hopefully they start Ripien again. I'm going to take the Broncos, minus 1.5, over/under 35.5. Did I skip the Giant card? I think I might have. 8 p.m. on Sunday, you got the Bucks at the Cards. Bucks, lost with them, of course, last week. That was one of the few losses. Tom Brady needs to put it together. They're still leading their division. They can make the playoffs. They got to win. The Cards, I think it's Colt McCoy this week. Of course, Kyler Murray's out for the year. I'm going to take them Bucks, and it's a big spot for the Bucks. 6.5, over/under 41.5. And Monday night, we got the Chargers at Colts. I like the Chargers. I think Herbert, he got it dialed in. I'm going to take those Colts. I'm going to take the Chargers minus 3.5, over/under 46.5. I don't recall talking about my Giants. I think I skipped the card. I'm going to take the Giants versus the Vikings. And I think the spot I am getting 3.5. Yeah, look, the card's missing here. I don't know what happened. I left it on my desk. I'm going to take the Giants plus 3.5 at the Vikings. Giants defense looks like it has now turned it on. Thibodeau was playing. Also was the player of the week. I'm going to take them Giants. I believe I'm taking the Giants plus 3.5. I'm getting 4.5, I've been just told. I'm taking the Giants plus 4.5, and the over/under, over/under is 47.5. Be good. Merry Christmas. Have a great holiday. Again, don't bet too crazy. I'll see you next week. Good night.